All right, everybody, welcome back in and welcome all. It is From the Pocket coming at you not quite past Wild Card Weekend. We are in the middle of the Monday night game between the Texans and Steelers. But Christian, we got 5 games in the books, and 4 of them were very, very good. You know, one of them, we all know the one that wasn't, was pretty rough to watch, to be honest. But, I mean, both games Saturday, I mean, obviously, the first game between the Rams and the Panthers, way closer than I think a lot of people thought it would be. I have a lot of thoughts on that.
You were at Panthers plus 10.5.
Yeah, and a lot of the pros coming in on Rams minus 10. Like, they thought this was going to be a blowout, a dog walk, and it wasn't. And then
I'm glad we stayed away from it.
Yeah, I didn't have a feel for that. And obviously for that Bears-Packers game, didn't have a feel for that one either. Amazing. You know, I mean, we both picked the Bears, but, like, I can't sit here and pretend like that was skill. Like, I just...
A little bit. That 4th and 8?
I mean, well, that was skill.
Not a lot of dudes in the league can
There's about 4 people on planet Earth that can make that throw.
The very next play just
and then he sails a pass.
I was like, God damn it,
that's
dude.
He
was 50% of it. He makes those wild plays, but the easy gimme ones.
He was at one. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But and then the Sunday games, that Bills Jaguars game, back and forth. I mean, I wish I could say I had faith that the Jags were going to get it done, but I was like, as long as they got Josh Allen on that sideline and he's got the ball last, like if he's not playing the Chiefs.
If it's not Patrick Mahomes
or
Joe Burrow, then it's.
And then that Eagles 49ers game, it was a good game, but it was a tough watch.
Yeah.
It was a tough one. It was a
nice play. We'll talk about the 49ers, but yeah, some great plays made by the 49ers.
Yeah.
And
got some fun stats on that one too.
Their guys, that, Juwan Jennings player who I'll save it for the game. I'll save it for that game.
Yeah, save it for the game. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about, Christian. We'll have to probably recap the Monday night game at some other point, probably on Thursday's episode if we get to it. I know you and I have the Steelers winning that. You have the Texans right now. We're both sitting at and right now we're both sitting at 4 for 5 on the weekend. So feeling pretty good. Brackets are alive and well. I don't know if you got a chance to see, but I called an audible on my bracket right before.
I didn't see it. No.
You liked the post, so I thought you.
Oh.
Yeah,
sometimes I'll just like it and
That's okay. That's okay.
I did watch your Bears Packers one.
That was my worst video. I never taken that one. Like all the other ones I had to take. That one was just like, oh my god, what a game! Like,
yeah.
Anyway,
I was in shock.
I don't even know what take to give after this. This was insane, and I didn't want to be mean to Packers fans because I've been at war with them all year long. I was just I'm not. But either way, yeah. So we can go ahead and get started. Let's start with the game that kicked it off, right? The Rams and the Panthers.
What a game to kick off.
Look, I gotta say immediately off the top, this game, as I said in kind of my breakdown of this, to me was an amalgamation of what the Rams really are right now. When their offense is humming, when they're cruising and things are going well, the offense is unstoppable. It's an unstoppable unit. But when their offense starts to slip, this defense is so susceptible. And the special teams is so susceptible. And to be honest, I made the take that I was like, I am worried about the Rams. I don't think the Rams are a Super Bowl team. I don't. I know on paper they check all the boxes. We love the coach. We love the quarterback. We love the receivers. We love the running game. We love the defensive line. Like, they check all the boxes on paper, but, they came into the playoffs with a 3-3 record, and 2 of those wins were against the Cardinals. They've had a couple of blown leads throughout the year against high-caliber NFC teams like the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Their defense lets teams back into games. They were up 14-0 in this game. Halftime ends at 17-14. Matt Stafford starts out 8 for 8, dicing them up. Puka Nacua, multiple catches, has a touchdown, and then Matt Stafford starts to fall off. He gets his hand hurt, and this defense just can't stop anybody. And I just look at all of that, and I just do not believe this team is playing like a complete team right now. And I feel like people are way overlooking it. And I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think that this is just, it's playoffs, you're kind of just trying to win, or are you as worried about the Rams as I am?
No, I think this does kind of show the weaknesses with the Rams. No, so I do agree. I mean, in the regular season, I mean, the Panthers beat this team in the regular season. Like, we called it a fluke at the time, but they came into this game with confidence. Like, hey guys, we have beaten this team. We're at home, and it kind of showed a little bit. Like, hey, the Rams, we're Matthew Stafford, we're Sean McVay, we got Puka Nacua, we got Devontae Adams. Like, we're just better than you, and that showed. But the Panthers, like, credit to them, they hung in it. I don't want to blame it all, but I do think some of the Rams' difficulties on offense, I'm not going to blame it all on the hand, but I think that did affect, like, his passes a little bit, because he was a little off. Like, Devontae Adams had, like, a drop or two. I think Puka had a drop as well. So they got to fix that up if they're trying to make this run here. Now they're about to go, they're on the road again. And I think in your short, you talked about their defensive deficiencies in the back half of that season. And it showed up. It showed its rear ugly head in this one, and letting the Panthers get back into this game, even grabbing the lead, like in the fourth, up 24-20 there. But Matthew Stafford and them, they got it done. But I mean, yeah, I don't know how you look, like, everybody, Vegas, a lot of analysts, bettors, and all this were like, no, the Rams are clearly better, and this is going to be what it is on Saturday. It's going to be a good fashion ass whooping, because the Panthers don't belong in here. They're the NFC South division winner. They backed into the playoffs, and the Rams got a, like, culture shock. Like, hey, no, this is the playoffs, and hey, Bryce Young with this game got his 5th-year option picked up, so hopefully they can continue to build. I'm leaving more out of this game more positive about the Panthers moving forward than the Rams moving forward. Again, I'll still stick with them. I did pick them to win this the NFC. I think they still can do it, but I mean, we see what the Bears are, that team that if you give them an inch, especially in that fourth quarter, and it's close, like, hey, Caleb Williams got the juice in the fourth. I don't know what it is. He's just
Iceman.
He is. So you can't make a living off of. You can't make a living like same thing with Chicago. Can't make a living off all the comebacks and stuff. But you can't make a. Rams can't be making a living like this by letting teams back into games when, you're clearly the better team.
Yeah, and I think that's a great highlight here is you look at, I mean, again, just to kind of give you it, in terms of EPA per drop back and an EPA rush attempt, pass DVOA, and rush DVOA. The first 11 games, the Rams defense ranked top 5 in every single one of those stats. The last 6 games of the regular season, they were below average in almost all of those. The only one they weren't was rush EPA per attempt, and they were 15th. So, I mean, they're right there still. Like, it's not like they're exceptional. I mean, sharp drops in every single place. And, yeah, to your point, I think you're exactly right. This is a Bears team that we know what they do in the second half. We know how much they come back. They outscored the Packers 25-6 in the fourth quarter. And so it is, to me, a bit of a nightmare scenario if you're the Rams, where Matt Stafford hasn't always played well in the cold. You look at his splits outdoors, and it's going to be cold in Chicago. And that is a passing first offense. How is that going to look like in the weather? I know Chicago's defense is very susceptible, but still a question. But that is a Bears offense that loves to come back after falling down early And that is a Rams defense that loves to let offenses get back into games. So I am very curious what that's going to look like. I am worried about them. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of hand waving for people. And I think a lot of it is Rams fans. But I think some of it is like, I think there's an advantage to really watching football as much as we do. Because I think people still think it's like week 12. And they just have this image of the Rams and what they were. And they say, well, that's like the best team in the league or the second best team in the league. And it's like, no, you don't understand. This isn't like the Eagles when they were 10-1 and everybody's like, something's wrong with them. This team is not winning. They're 4-3 in their last 7 games. They're 5-4 on the road this year. I mean, this team struggles on the road. So I have a lot of concerns about this Rams team. And again, it's not like as this team stands now, they're great at stopping the run. Good luck. You're going to play probably the best rushing team in the NFL this side of Buffalo. And I don't know what that's going to look like. So, yeah, I am very worried about the Rams. And as for the Panthers, I kind of echo everything you said. You know, I think some people could be a little sad that Bryce Young did well because it means they're going to give him his 5th year probably, and I don't know how many people want that in Carolina. I honestly don't. I don't know if they like Bryce Young or not, but I mean, I think Bryce Young has earned another year. He has said,
I think, at least a year, yeah.
This is, I know you kind of had to get lucky to get there, but like year 2 of the Dave Canales, Bryce Young era, you're in the playoffs and you're in a dogfight with the team that I think a lot of people think is the best team in the NFC. I know a lot of people have going to the Super Bowl in their brackets. So, I think that's worth something. And yeah, as for the Rams, good luck. Good luck. And look, I'm not saying the Rams can't get there. Like they easily could beat Chicago, and they could easily beat Seattle in the week after. I think Seattle will beat the 49ers handily. That's just me. But
I'm flirting with the 49ers.
Oh, please do. Please.
I'm flirting with it. I don't know. I'm still strong on Seattle should beat them, but what?
You want me to do it again? You want me to give the take one more time, just like I did a couple weeks ago?
Sure.
No shot. They got no shot. No shot. They might get 6 points.
Thing I heard today, actually, every time Kyle Shanahan has won a playoff game, or I think
every time he's been to the playoffs.
Oh, he makes it to the division.
He makes it to
the conference game. Yeah. That's crazy.
Not this year. Not against that.
We'll
that
see.
Team is Seattle too good. That team is Seattle so good.
But that quarterback.
Sam Darnold ain't played well for 2 months, and they can't stop winning. They can't stop.
It's a tough challenge, but hey, it's an opponent you've seen now for the 3rd time. We can get into that later.
All right, we'll talk about it a little bit on Wednesday. I have some fun stats to share about that. I will just say this: the Seahawks point differential is 191. That is over the past 5 years. That is the 4th most any team's had.
Yeah,
in the past 5 years. So,
no. They're really good. The team is really good. The team is really, really good.
And I will say the Rams are 2nd, if that means anything. Jaguars were 4th above the Bills at 5, and they just went home. But we can talk about the crazy game, the Bears, Packers. I mean, look, I think we said it at the top, right? Like, that throw by Caleb Williams on 4th down.
Insane.
Season's over. I mean, season is over.
That's game. That's ball game.
And for him to roll out, make that throw falling down, and just put a dot over. I mean, there was defenders there. Like, he put it
3 or 4 of them
on the hash, or on the sideline, dot 30 yards downfield. And then the next play sails.
Just what are you doing?
It's the Caleb Williams experience. Like, you get these plays that only. I mean, how many guys could? Josh Allen,
maybe
Patrick Mahomes.
Like, it's not a few on
Lamar. Like,
it's not a lot of guys.
It's not a long list of guys. And for him to like, if it really just speaks to like, if he can clean up those basics,
Oh,
this team is going to be so good. But
He's
like,
gonna be scary.
I, I, I really don't understand what it is, like why this team cannot play well in rhythm. Because that's
I
ultimately
think
what
well,
it is.
it's Caleb, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it
I
is. Why
I
he can't play well in rhythm.
I I think he loves the chaos a little bit. Like I think he likes that. That really gets him going. He's a very emotional dude. We saw that in college. You know him crying. I mean, like no, like hey, I'm not like making fun of the man and all that stuff. Um, but I think just when the chips are down, I don't know. Like and when he could just play free backyard football, I think that's when he's at his best. It's just
100%.
like you said, like we just need to get, and that's what Johnson is trying to, instill in him is like if we could just get the basics now because he was 50%. He threw for 50% in a playoff game and came back and put up 25 points in the fourth quarter alone. That's insane. I mean, so like not a lot of guys can do that. So I mean, we'll see how this playoff run goes. Like very exciting for the Bears. They got a winnable game against the Rams. I don't know if they're playing Saturday or Sunday. They got a really winnable game. They can be in the NFC Championship, and then who knows then? But what could happen? I mean, but like this off season, and I know we've talked about it a little bit. Like, hey, we're probably gonna fade the Bears a bit next year from all these like one possession games. I mean, you probably should fade him a little bit, but like, man, dude, he's just so fun to watch. Like, this is like he's like Mahomes when Mahomes first came out. Like, this is exciting to watch. This guy, like, waiting to see what this guy can do, and he's proven that he can be clutch. But yeah, he needs to clean up the routine stuff, and like once he gets that down, who man, the Bears could be. And it seems like they got their quarterback and they got their coach, and you got your head coach and you got your quarterback. I mean, this Bears team should be at least a perennial playoff team, like, and obviously in the run for Super Bowls for multiple years.
And moving to the Packers, look, I don't want to necessarily rub in the fact that I did say they would win 9 games this year and that they would not be contenders. I don't want to say it, okay?
But you keep bringing it up, which is weird.
I earned the right to bring it up. Look, I know, I'm not silly. I know it's like, well, we lost Micah Parsons and we lost Tucker Kraft and we lost half of our offensive line. I know in terms of like value lost, they lost more than a lot of teams. I think their injury excuse is a little more overblown than they want to say. Like, are we really making the case that they lost this game because of injuries? Like, no. They were up 21-3. That was the best in that first half the Packers had looked compared to any other point in the year almost. Like, maybe when they played the Lions, you would make the case they looked better. Yeah, like, other than that, like, they had not looked that good at any other point in the season. So, I think the real interesting question is, do they fire Matt LaFleur?
I don't agree with this.
You don't agree with firing Matt LaFleur?
No. Like, why are we firing Matt LaFleur? It's not his fault. He has a limited score. This man was, when he first got there. Now, granted, he had a Hall of Fame quarterback, but what did they go? Aaron Rodgers' first year. Aaron Rodgers got an MVP. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, look, can the play calling be a little shaky here and there? Yeah, I guess. It gets a little tight. But, like, I like Jordan Love, and Jordan Love played, I think, really well. He's had a good season. I thought he'd had a good game this past game against the Bears. I know, like, they had stalled a little bit here and there. He had 4 touchdowns. I don't know what more you can ask from him. But, I mean, look, if he gets fired, he's gonna get picked up really, somebody else is gonna gladly snatch him up. I would love. Now we don't have a quarterback yet, but I would love to have Matt LaFleur as my head coach moving forward. Especially if he can at least help pick his quarterback. But I think the Matt LaFleur, I think he has earned the grace of one more year to try to figure this out. But I understand they got a new CEO, president.
Yeah, new
They
president.
got a new guy, so I understand he doesn't want to be mediocre. Like I get that. They have been the 7th seed since its creation, since he's been there. But
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. I mean, that's rough and all that. So like, I get the arguments. I hear them. Like again, I mean, it's not all perfect, but I'm not saying like I'm putting it all on Jordan Love either. Maybe it's just ran its course, but I at least think he has earned one more year. I know he has one more year on his deal. I would just play it out and see what we can get. Now it's a little tough because this division has gotten so much better now.
I mean, when the Vikings, who have a Super Bowl level roster, are the weakest link in this division, going 9-8, like
because they don't have a quarterback.
That is crazy.
So I think he has earned in my opinion, I think he has earned at least a spot. Like I think he's a great, like genius level, like type of offensive mind. It's just not whatever. I don't know what's going on with the Packers right now. But maybe some health. They get a draft. Now they don't have a first round pick because of the Dallas trade. But I mean, maybe they can do something in the draft with free agents, kind of fix it up. I'd give it one more year. I think he's earned one more year. But I mean, yeah, if they're the 7th seed again next year, which I mean, history's telling us they might, and it's kind of this first round exit, or we kind of get bounced in the divisional again, then yeah, maybe you okay, let's run its course. But to me, no, I don't think he should get fired for this cycle. But like I understand the Packers are in this Super Bowl contender thing. They're the Packers. They had pretty big hype, especially coming into this year after the Micah trade. So I can get why the feeling of like disappointment in this season happened. So look, you're frustrated. Give it a little bit. You might ease up a little bit. Maybe convince yourself that the injuries were. I mean, they had some significant injuries. Not like I'm not gonna like shoo that away, but yeah, that's my take. Do you think he should get fired?
Look, the problem I have is I don't have that much faith in Jordan Love. I just do not.
You don't have no faith in Jordan Love. What does
and
that
so like
do? He's limited.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm like I want to sit up here all day and go, yeah, Matt LaFleur can't get it done. Look at what he's done these past couple of years. But I also am like looking at Jordan Love, and I'm like, I mean, I went into this season with the take, yeah, Jordan Love's not the guy I want to be getting it done in this game, in this situation. And like, I think that's a little unfair because, to be totally real, like, I thought at the end of that game when Jordan Love did have an opportunity to go score a touchdown and take I didn't feel like they lost that game because of Jordan Love. I thought Jordan Love did what he needed to do to put his team in position to score. I just think, Romeo Doubs drops a pass he should have caught. He's kind of having to like create time at the end of the game. He's getting hit as he throws. It kind of was what it was. But I think the thing that Matt LaFleur has a really hard time contending with is 3 straight 7th seed showings. That is brutal.
Can't defend that. He's
1-3 in that stretch in the playoffs. And he has not made it past the divisional round since Aaron Rodgers was winning MVPs for him. And it's tough. I'm reading this Bleacher Report and this article from the Bleacher Report, and they're saying the Packers shouldn't consider firing LaFleur over 2 bad quarters and 1 disappointing loss. And it's like, But it wasn't just one bad loss and 2 bad quarters.
Yeah.
They ended their season on 5 straight losses. They had an 8-point lead against the Broncos, lost it. They had a multi-possession lead over the Bears in their second game in Chicago, lost it. They were down by multiple possessions, 2 possessions, I believe, if I remember correctly, against the Ravens at halftime. Lost that game, too, in a blowout, essentially. And I know, they were on their emergency quarterback. They were losing that game before Malik Willis got hurt. And now they come into this game up by 18 points in the second half, and they just failed that defense. Failed it because, you knew the Bears were about to come out and do some crazy stuff. That's what we've seen them do. You knew it was about to happen. You didn't know if it would be enough to win the game, but you knew they were going to make it interesting. And to go out there with that game plan in the second half, not saying you should play not to lose, but to not have any semblance of tempo, of rhythm, of feel for how you should call this game, to give your defense a fighting chance, drive after drive after drive, to just not get anything together. I think that is just so gross. I think it's so bad. It's just...
No, that's fair.
And, I get, it's... And I just... let's not ignore the fact that this is a young roster that lost key players in Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, and Elton Jenkins. It's like, okay. But then I look at his counterpart, Kiel Shanahan, who lost Fred Warner, who lost Nick Bosa, who played multiple games this year without his starting quarterback, without Trent Williams, without Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle in and out of the lineup.
Got hurt in the game.
D. Winters got hurt against a couple weeks ago against the Seahawks. Michael Williams was hurt. Just player after player after player hurt on this 49ers team. And they won 12 games. And they just beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. I understand wanting to have kind of that grace and be but at the same time, it's like, I got John Harbaugh out there I can go pick up. There's some really good coaching. Kevin Stefanski's out there, and I'm not saying Kevin Stefanski's better than Matt LaFleur, but at some point, it's the same thing with the Harbaugh thing, where it's at what point do we just say, it's not working out? And, look, and I'm not even going to say, it isn't necessarily all Matt LaFleur's fault. Again, I think Jordan Love does have some culpability in this, but, Jordan Love's getting a lot of money. Jordan Love not going nowhere. Okay? Yeah. He's not going, whether or not we want him to, he's not going nowhere. So we need a coach who we feel can elevate Jordan Love to the point that we need him to be. And I don't know if Matt LaFleur has proven he can do that. Outside of making Jordan Love a competent starter, which he is. He had a good year. He was high in the EPA. There was a period of time we were talking about him maybe being the MVP. I just don't know if it's enough. And I think it's unfortunate because I did not think this team was a contender this year. It kind of felt like the Falcons thing where I was like, I feel like what's going to happen is the Falcons are going to go 8-9 or 9-8, thinking they're closer than they are, and they're going to have to make a head coaching change because they're impatient and they think they should be a contender. I thought the Packers entered this season saying, well, we're contenders. We're contenders. And, maybe for part of the season they were one of them, but they were, outside of the first 2 weeks of the season, they were never definitively the team. I think everybody they lost to the Eagles pretty bad. That's what happened. I think they would have lost to the Rams. I think if they won this game against the Bears and had to go play Seattle next week, I think Seattle would have thumped them. I think they would have gotten embarrassed by Seattle. And I look at this team and I'm like, yeah, you drafted Matthew Golden. Your receiving group was a year away. Jordan Love still probably has a ways to go. Your running game wasn't as good. And you go 9-8 or 9-7. And that feels like probably what this team was this year. But I think the manner in which you achieve that 9-7 is worth noting. So I would lean towards going with another voice. Maybe you promote Jeff Hafley and try to find a cool offensive coordinator, because Jeff Hafley going to get scooped if you don't. And I also wonder if what happened with Seattle with Mike McDonald, you let your all-star defensive coordinator walk and he goes and turns around a program like that, and you kept the guy that's kind of kept you neutral the past few years, and then you end up firing him anyway, and you're going, why did we not just promote Jeff Hafley when we had him in our building? Like, I don't know. So those are all my rambling thoughts on that. All right. All right. We can move on, I guess, to the Sunday games. Sunday. We have the noon game was the Bills and the Jaguars. I don't have too many thoughts on this. I do have some key thoughts, but Christian, I'll let you go first on this. What were your takeaways from this game? Of course. They were all very good.
Very good game. Just very good game. I thought the Jags played up to their potential up into this game. I know it didn't go their way, but I mean, I thought they could have won it. There, I mean, they did take the lead at 20. Trevor Lawrence did get a touchdown with 4 minutes left, but it's Josh Allen with the ball. If it's not against Mahomes or Joe Burrow, this is what happened. So, good game for Buffalo. Obviously, Josh Allen with the plays had a little scare there, but his toughness there is huge. 3 total touchdowns on the game, 1 passing, 2 rushing. They didn't run the ball very well. James Cook was pretty bottled up, but yeah, sometimes it's tough. You go up against this guy who is just 6'6". It can run you over and thread a needle through a haystack, or whatever the saying is. It's so tough game by the Jags, but hey, I'm looking forward to their future. Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, if they can continue that, go into this offense, get some more players on the defensive side, get Trevor Lawrence some help on the offensive side. It looks like they got their coach, and if Trevor can, continue.
Yeah, I'm not saying, just saying
on his development
Trevor Lawrence,
as a
dark
quarterback.
horse MVP next year.
You're feeling good if you're
dark horse MVP. We finally made it. No,
moving forward,
we did. And look,
we always say it. We say it. Look, now we saw this. We'll see next year how it plays out. He played good, won a playoff game. Next year, kind of rough, but I do think I'm thinking this should change. Like, I think Liam Cohen set a great foundation, and I don't think the history.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like
we'll
a
see
lot
a better
of
Trevor
the Jaguars
Lawrence
prediction I had was vindicated.
We'll see
They obviously performed even better than I thought they would, and I think some of that was that defense.
Hopefully,
their
early
defense
on
this year.
as well.
Just when you look at EPA, when you look at obviously turnover. I mean, they were dead last in the league in turnovers last year with 9, and this year they were second in the league in turnovers. I mean, just to turn around their defensive coordinator. I mean, he's got to be on the short list of assistant coaches of the year. Just an amazing performance from him this year. And, I feel the thing I feel vindicated the most about, though, was I was big in the idea that, look, you're going to see the best Trevor Lawrence has. This is going to be – and I know we were very skeptical early. It was not looking good. I think we get a little impatient in how long it takes to kind of settle into a system. But, as he settled into the system – man, he was really good. I mean, I know you look at his stats back in that 2022 season, on that back half of the season in Doug Peterson's first year as their coach. You compare that to the stats he had in the last back half of this season, they pale in comparison. They're not even close to what he was doing this year. And I think he played well in this game. I know the 2 interceptions, people are going to look at if they're box score watching and say, that wasn't a good game, and he threw the game-ending pick. The first interception came early in the game. He was amped up. I think he was still settling into it. It's a playoff game. It's nerves. I get it. That second one, I don't think that was his fault. I think he threw a good pass. I think he made the right read. I think Trey White, made a phenomenal play on that, and it was just a tip drill that went against him. And yeah, he was. He was. And to be honest, I said in my recap of this game, I thought the better team lost. I think the Jaguars were the better team in this game. We went into this game saying, okay, the Bills are the best team at rushing, and the Jaguars are one of the best teams at stopping the run. The Jaguars dominated that matchup. The Bills could not run the ball all game. And then, can they run the ball? They're pretty average at running the ball. Can they run against this bad Bills defense? Yeah, they could. They had 154 yards rushing. They had 88 yards rushing on their first 8 carries in this game. They were tearing up. And then, of course, Trevor Lawrence started out a little amped up, but you saw in that second half, he was really settling into that. They were beating the Bills secondary in a lot of pass concepts. And it really felt like he had kind of arrived in that way. And, he scores what would have been the game-winning touchdown if you don't give the ball to Josh Allen with 4 minutes left. And what I think is so amazing, I heard this on the Athletic Football Show, Josh Allen was 28 for 35, 273 yards, had a touchdown. For us, we go, good game, Josh Allen. It's a good game. Had that crazy throw to Brandon Cooks late on that drive that put them in scoring position. That's a really good game, Josh. If any other quarterback outside in the playoffs this year had that performance, it would be career defining. We would be talking about it. It's like, could you believe this performance he had? He was so amazing in this game. But because it's Josh Allen, and we've seen Josh Allen do that, and because Josh Allen is so amazing, we go, yeah, pretty good Josh Allen game right there. It's just how good he really is. He's superhuman. And you also look at the stats. The stats were tough for Josh Allen in this game. And I'm going to talk about Justin Herbert in a little bit.
Too.
I have a lot of thoughts about Justin Herbert and kind of what happened to him today or this weekend. But Josh Allen was the second most pressured quarterback in the wild card round, and he had the least amount of time to throw of any quarterback in the wild card round. He had 2.6 seconds to throw. That was the lowest. And despite that, he had the third highest total EPA. He had the second highest EPA per drop back. He completed 80% of his passes. 80%. No other quarterback had more than 70. No other quarterback had more than 62%, and he had 80. It's why I picked the Bills to win this game in my bracket. And I'm sure it's the same reason you picked them to win. I like the Jags. Hey, that's okay though. That's okay. As far as this game goes, it's the Jags are the better team. They're at home. They even had the penalties work out for them. The penalties were all in Buffalo in this game.
Lose in the AFC Championship.
Josh Allen said, "Yeah, I'll get it done though." I tried to envision so hard in my mind's eye. Can I picture Josh Allen walking off the field with a loss in the wild card? And I could not do it.
It was really hard to think, fathom that. It was crazy. Just give a little
that's scary
stats on the game from NFL Pro. Josh Allen now has 8 count them, 8 playoff wins as a starting quarterback, which is the most by a QB without a Super Bowl appearance in NFL history.
We saw the Rams-Panthers game, I think, had tied for the
four
most
fourth
ever.
quarter lead changes.
So it just shows you again how competitive this
tied for the
this
most
weekend
fourth quarter
was.
lead changes in playoff game in NFL
phenomenal
history.
Weekend. But I do want to end on the Jaguars really quick. Look, I think two things are true at once. One, very excited for them going forward. Like, again, cannot stress how good of a job this defense turnaround was this year. They had the same guys as they had last year when they were a horrible defense, and they turned it around. You know, Jacoby Myers' addition late in the season clearly made a difference. Like, they won 13 games, not even playing well for half the season, not even playing like that well. They end on a 7-game win streak. Liam Cohen, I think, is the real deal. I think another year with Trevor Lawrence in the system, build out that offense, get some depth, get some more talent on that defense. Like, Cam Little holds the record for the first and second most longest field goals in the history of the sport. Like, you're set. But I also think this can be true too. They really blew an opportunity here. They had it. Yeah, I think so. They had. I feel like it was unfortunate that this game happened in the wild card, because I genuinely think both these teams could have made Super Bowl runs. And the Jaguars, they did everything you want in a champion. Yeah. They had great defense that got turned. They're the Bears defense, except they're good. You know what I mean? Like, they had the quarterback that was playing extremely well on the back end. They had a running game that was alive, not amazing, but live. They would have had a really good opportunity at home field advantage. You know, I mean, the Patriots might lose next week. You know, and they're going to be the second seed remaining. You know, so and the first seed above them is a team that they whooped ass on a month ago in Denver. And, I mean, they came in with a 7-game win streak. Like, they checked all the boxes of what you would want in a team that was about to make a Super Bowl run. And they got bounced in round one. Like, it was. It is tough. And I do hear that, and I do acknowledge it. But, like, man,
tough.
Like,
just
it's
tough
like
seeding.
Dan Campbell
got to
had
play
that famous
Josh
quote
Allen
after they
and
got
the
bounced in
Bills
the NFC Championship.
first round in the
When it's like,
playoffs.
we don't know if we'll ever be here
tough.
again. Like, you never know, and they haven't been back. The wild card, yeah, but like the scenario that which they'd entered, where it's like we're one of the two hottest teams in the conference. The conference is wide open. We got this game at home. It's probably the hardest matchup we're going to play all season long, or all playoffs, and you couldn't get it done. It's tough. But anyway, yeah, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I'm sorry. But let's go talk about the 49ers and the Eagles.
Debbie Downer.
Christian, I have a lot of thoughts on this game. So my immediate thought is I have a stat that I want to share.
Ooh, this game.
So the Eagles in this game had an offensive success rate of 42%.
Yes. Do it.
It's pretty good. But 42% for the whole game. Now, offensive success rate, for those of you who don't know, is basically it's how well your offense stays on schedule, right? You get a certain amount of yards on first down, a certain amount of yards on second down, a certain amount of yards on third down. It's staying on schedule. That's what it's rating there. They had a 42% offensive success rate. That success rate was identical to the success rate that the Cleveland Browns had against the 49ers offense. Or defense, I'm sorry.
Lowest? Or...
The Browns, for reference, were 32nd this year in offensive success rate. And teams that played the 49ers, just some of them, that had a better success rate against the 49ers than the Eagles did. The Titans, the Colts, the Giants, the Saints, the Cardinals. All of them had better success rates against this 49ers defense than this Eagles team did. And here's another stat for you. The Eagles played in 18 games this year. 10 of them, they scored 20 points or less.
Mhm.
Not in the last game of the season. They lost the last game of the season. Are you talking about the first time they played?
The last month of the season, right?
Oh
no,
yeah,
they played
they,
the Commanders. I think they
whooped
put.
up on
They
them. Yeah, I mean that was a good win, but
Never
I mean it's just, man, it's if you're not firing Kevin Patullo, I don't know what you. I think the only silver lining of this is if they had made a playoff run in this.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Patullo gets to stay, and at least you don't have to deal with. He's going to get fired. Howie Roseman's going to go, okay, Nick, I'm never letting you pick the offensive coordinator again. We're going to pick the guy I want, and it's the right choice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they're probably also kicking themselves for not trading AJ Brown. Like you probably like the argument. It's whatever. Like that happens. We've seen it like time and time again. I don't really put a lot of blame on that. I mean, unfortunately, AJ, you're gonna catch a lot of shade because you did bring a lot of this on yourself, and then when in a playoff game, I mean, some of the passes weren't great, but they're still catchable, man, and some of them were, uh, and you have some drops like that, that's unfortunate, and you're gonna get picked on a little bit. So, yeah, Kevin Patullo, I think is getting fired. That should happen. I'm surprised we haven't gotten the notification, unless I just missed it. And then and you got to trade AJ Brown. I think those are on a list of other things to fix. That should be probably high up there on their list to do for this offseason. And yeah, for the Eagles side. Yeah, this was just, I mean, it just played out how it went throughout the entire season for them. Like they could not put a complete game together. We saw a lot. We saw a lot in big games that they had this season, where they start off great in the first half. They're rolling. They look like kind of not like the Chiefs of the Eagles of last year, but they were still moving the ball and stuff and scoring. And then that second half, they either stall uh, or they stall. They settle for field goals or whatever. We saw week 1 against Dallas. So yeah, this
And I mean,
was just
it's also so sad
just an
because
amalgamation
this defense
of what the
turned out to
Eagles
be,
season has
it
been,
wasn't
and
as good as it was last year, and I know
and
it
just
it
played
still
out
ended up the
on
season with
Sunday
some
night against
issues
the
at
49ers.
corner. Adoree Jackson never really found his footing, but like Quinyon Mitchell was so good. This linebacking core is easily, to me, the best in the NFL. I mean, you're 3 linebackers deep, and those 3 linebackers could start on basically any team in the league with Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, and Jahad Campbell, who's only a rookie. That Jalen Phillips trade really made a huge difference to them. Kind of lets Vic Fangio kind of run that 4-down defensive line that he loves to run, and kind of man you up on the back end, and also run all these just exotic coverages in the back. Like it really was. The defense just got let down. And it really did. And, I mean, you hold a 49ers offense. Like, before the Seahawks game, that 49ers team in the 6 games leading up to that Seahawks game in the last game of the season, they were putting up 37 points a game. And, I mean, you tell me you're holding the 49ers to 23 points. Like, you got to win that game. You got to win that game. And here's some more stats for you. The 49ers became the first team in the Super Bowl era to win a playoff game.
Yeah, and
after
least
having
score
20
Like, I know that doesn't win the game, but like you can't get at least a 20.
The other teams all lost their first playoff games. And here's another stat for you. The Eagles were +2 in turnover margin and +65 in rushing yard margin.
Yeah.
And they lost. They became the first team ever to lose. The teams prior to that, let's see, the stat is +1 and a rushing yard margin of +50. Teams prior to that were 132-0, according to Next Gen Stats. So teams with 0 giveaways and 35-plus minutes of possessions are now 28-2 in the playoffs the last 40 seasons, with the 2025 Eagles and the 2023 Bills being the only teams that have lost in that scenario. So you have to look at for the 49ers, like it really is, the more you dive into it, the more impressive it is to do what they did, to go on the road, totally undermanned, without a lot of talent. George Kittle blows his Achilles halfway through this game. And to get it done, Brock Purdy, and he struggled. He had 2 interceptions in this game, but that trick play coming out of that third quarter break, going into the fourth, to call that as the first play out of a break, and to hit it,
yeah, he's a gunslinger.
Bonkers. Oh, Jawan Jennings was? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, he was like, I learned on First Things First, he was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school. Like, yeah. Kyle Shanahan brought it up in the post game because they asked him about it, and they ran this play with Debo. I don't remember what playoff run it was, but I think it was probably one of their.
Yeah, he did. He's the only player now next to Bronco Nagurski.
Whatever. Yeah, they ran the same play.
Quarterback that has 2 playoff touchdown passes.
I want to say scored on that one too.
Yeah, sure. No, I knew you were going to say Justin Herbert. All right, well, we're going to talk about Justin Herbert just a little bit, and I have a lot to say about that.
He has the same amount of passing touchdowns in the playoffs as Justin Herbert.
I just there's so much I want to talk about in this game, and we can't. We have to go at some point. But
that's a little crazy. Crazy.
We have to talk about the ending sequence to that game, because I can't even find the words to describe how ridiculous that was. Like, I'm trying. I wish I could show kind of the game tape, because I was watching the game tape on it just to see, is it really as bad as I thought it was? It was. It was as bad as I thought it was. You literally have a situation where it's 4th down, and you have 3 timeouts. It's like, okay, well, don't use your timeouts, because if you don't get this 4th and 11, you're going to have to call and use timeouts. And they can't get out of the huddle fast enough to actually call the play they want. And so they have to burn a timeout. And then, okay, this is it. So you've ended the game now. You have to pick up a first down on this play now. You've lost your timeout. You're not going to be. It's over. This is it now. You've taken yourself down to just one chance to get a 4th and 11 or nothing. And what play do they come out of that break with for their life, for their season? Timeout to figure it out. What do they come out with? They come out with their outside receivers running streaks, and their 2 inside guys, their tight end and their slot, running crossers. That was the brilliant play call that they came up with for their life. And
hell yeah.
And to be real, it's even worse because
that's odd, Jake. You don't understand. That's just great.
It's one thing to have that play call. It's another thing for Jalen Hurts. They're sitting there, they're mugged up on the line, right? Both their linebackers are mugged up on the line, looking like they're going to blitz. They bail out. The 49ers only send 4 guys in that play. Eric Kendricks drops back, and look, I'll be real, there's nobody open. There really isn't anybody open. He's got Jahan Dotson also running a crosser. But Eric Kendricks is dropping back in such a way that he can cover both of them if he needs to. So there's not really a place, but he ends up throwing it into triple coverage. And Eric Kendrick bats it down, which
it's 4th and 11.
I want to say for the record, Eric Kendrick was basically signed off the street the week before, making the game-winning play for this team. He was. And it was really nice to see Eric Kendrick, because he He
I mean, he was all
was signed
over
to their
that
practice
game.
squad in
He was
November, so he wasn't off the streets last week. You get my point, though. But I want to be precise. But it's just just absolutely remarkable by the 49ers. This defense so undermanned, getting it done. This offense doing just enough. Brock Purdy, late game score. That was the difference. Late game score by Brock Purdy. Jalen Hurts has an opportunity to match it, and him and Kevin Patullo couldn't do it. And also, last thing, I'm sorry. I know I've been talking a lot. A.J. Brown. Horrible game. I know you talked about, like, trading him and stuff, but, like, he was so bad. As somebody who needed the Eagles to win for my bracket, I was so pissed watching this. I was just over and over. I was like, A.J. Brown, I don't know what. This is what you want. This is what you want. You talk about going to beach, and you've been beating your man all day. Like, you've been doing it, and you're just letting balls hit your gloves. Like, and then you're going on the sideline and yelling at Nick Sirianni. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, that's what I got. Congrats to the Niners. I think y'all are probably going to lose next week, but hey, y'all have had a great season. Like, anything now is just gravy.
I don't know. Oh no, they were playing with house money
It's
coming into
money.
this game.
Free real estate.
They're just
okay. Well,
they're just playing.
We got one more game, Christian. The Chargers Patriots. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. I don't have a lot, but I have a couple things I want to say about the Chargers and Justin Herbert. But I'll let you kind of start us out. What do you got?
I mean, hey, Drake May. Hey, the playoffs are different, man, and we saw that in the first half. You know, it was a bit shaky here and there. He toughened up in that second half. Was pretty good. Did have a fumble there. Did have a fumble late as well. The Chargers could have easily got back into this game. Had a fumble early in this game as well. Had within the 8-yard line and within the 10 and in the red zone, and they didn't come away with points. So it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'll stick with the Patriots for right now because they did win the game. So good for the Patriots. It was really weird because we brought up the not being really great in the red zone and not getting a lot of sacks. They didn't get a ton of sacks. Like, they weren't terrible at getting after the quarterback, but they weren't elite at it. And they had 6 sacks against Justin Herbert in this game. And, I was looking into the data a little bit, and, they're really good at points per game. They didn't give up a lot of points during the season. They were third with 17.9, rounded up to 18. In the red zone, scoring attempts per game, they were first at only allowing 2.3 scoring attempts in the red zone. And then red zone scores per game, they were 6 with only giving up 1.5. But when you got into the red zone, they weren't very good. Red zone scoring percentage on touchdowns only, they were ranked 27th, I believe. Pulling it up. Yeah, 27th at 64.3%. So they didn't allow a lot of teams to get into the red zone, but when you got into the red zone, you could cross the plane and get touchdowns. But the Chargers didn't do that in this game, which I think is not a big indictment. I don't want to put this all on Justin Herbert, but you had chances there. I know he had. We all know about the offensive injuries. Rashawn Slater getting hurt before the season, and Joel was in and out of the lineup and all that. The receivers were dropping balls here and there. Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, who was getting a little bit locked up by Christian Gonzalez on the Patriots. So, good win for the Patriots. Nice little stepping stone for Drake May. Had some growing pains. I think he played well played better in the second half of this game, obviously. But yeah, it was a bit shaky, and Justin Herbert's now 0-3.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah. I
talk about the
mean,
Chargers when we
look,
get there.
Drake
But
May
yeah,
did. I mean,
Patriots.
he had a fumble here.
Yeah,
He
had
had.
a
I mean,
had a
obviously the
fine game.
interception was like tipped
They're
up,
fine.
but like,
They're okay.
I mean, I look. I'm gonna kind of incorporate this discussion into Justin Herbert a little bit because it's just so tough because I do understand that, like, hey,
You kind of
the narrative is going to be for
goddamn.
people who want to defend Justin Herbert at all costs. Justin Herbert had no help in this game. And, like, that's partly true. And I want to say this off the top. I do think Justin Herbert, I think this season was his most impressive season as a starter. Like, overcoming everything he did and winning that game in overtime, you know.
The getting the surgery on his hand and playing like a week later, like the tough, like no,
100%.
like I am not questioning like the
Look,
toughness
he
and like the talent.
I think it really does speak volumes though that it's like, look, Drake May was struggling in this game, 17 for 19. He had an interception, as we said, a fumble, but like sacked 5 times. But when he needed to make a play to put the game away, he did it. And that is what we have said about Justin Herbert his entire career is in the playoffs, can he get it done? And again, I'm not going to sit here and say this was all Justin Herbert's fault. It was not Justin Herbert's fault. Or like all of his fault. But I think the best way that I've heard it put is there was not a lot of opportunities for Justin Herbert, but the ones that were there, he did not make them. And I know what everybody's going to say. Well, he had pressure in his face all night. Justin Herbert had the 3rd highest pressure rate of any quarterback this week. Outside of the obviously, I'm not counting the Steelers-Texans because that game is going on as we're recording this. But like out of the 10 quarterbacks that have played up to this point, he had the 3rd highest. That's not great, but Josh Allen had a higher pressure rate than him. Josh Allen went 80%, 273 yards, a touchdown, no turnovers. Bryce Young had the highest pressure rate out of any quarterback, and Bryce Young performed pretty identically to Justin Herbert, but actually was productive and put up points. Well, his receivers weren't open though. You want to hear a stat, Christian, that's going to blow your brains out? The average target separation for quarterbacks this week, Justin Herbert had 3.9 yards of target separation. That was the highest of any quarterback this week. If that had been in the regular season, it would have led the league. His tight window percentage was middle of the pack. He was 6 out of 10. Like, he was right there in the middle. So, like, he's not throwing constantly into tight windows, and his receivers, compared to the average, were open compared to other quarterbacks. He was sacked 6 times. That's a lot of sacks. Again, his counterpart, Drake May, was sacked 5. Like, at some point, I need to see results, as you said at the beginning of the season. And I want to give him, again, I'm not here to, like, dogpile on him, and I'm not here to say, like, I do think Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback. I think he is. I think he's proven he is. He's got the talent. He does win. But, like, elite Josh Allen would never have this kind of performance. He would never have this performance. We would be shocked if Josh Allen had this performance. And Josh Allen, with no run game, with just as high of a pressure rate, put up 27 points and won the game that he was playing against a defense that is, by all metrics, better than the Patriots. And I just, at what point, I just don't know. Like, in the playoffs, he's 0-3. He's got a 54% completion percentage. He's got 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. His interception rate is 3.8%. His interception rate in the regular season is 1.7%. More than doubled in the regular season. His touchdown percentage is right here. His touchdown percentage is 1.9. In the regular season, it's 4.7. I mean, it's almost a third of what it is in the regular season.
And I think I think even crazier. I was watching First Things First. His defenses in the playoffs have like in the I guess the 3 games have caused like 10 turnovers or something like that through these 3 games, and it's like one of the highest in his stretch of games in the playoffs. It's like the highest a defense has like caused that many turnovers in
And
like
look,
a
we're talking
3 game
about
span.
like
And he's
success rates
not
earlier.
winning
His
these
success rate goes
games.
from
He's 0-3 in
47.3 to
these games.
37.8 in the postseason. I mean, almost 10-point drop. I mean, it's just his quarterback rating 64.7 and the regular season is 96.3. Like,
That's
I mean,
a big difference.
it is jarring. It is jarring. And I mean, look, I get it. His sack percentage goes up. I do hear that. I would be curious to know. I don't have it off the top of my head what his time to throw. I will say this, actually. I'm glad I brought that up. Sorry. His time to throw this week, number 1. Had the most time to throw of any quarterback this week. Like, I just... The narrative that I'm going to keep hearing all offseason is, well, what do you want him to do when he's under pressure and he has no time to throw and his receivers aren't open? It's like his receivers were more open than anybody else. He had more time to throw than anybody else. His pressure rate was identical to Josh Allen's. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying he had that many opportunities, but I'm saying he didn't take advantage of the opportunities. You can't put up 3 points. You can't do it. So that's all I got on that. Congrats to the Patriots. Congrats to Drake May getting it done at home. I know Foxborough is a tough place to play. They were revved up. They were ready, and it was. And they are currently awaiting to see who they're going to play, the Steelers or the Texans.
How many years is for them to stop being
just kicked the field goal. Nico Collins just got carted off the field. So we'll see how that goes. But Christian, we've talked about it. We've done it. We did it again. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about the 4 divisional matchups. How crazy, how exciting.
We did it.
Oh. Yeah, it is. Well, only...
It's coming down on the wire. It's fun. And I think this just showed just how real it in a like playoff football can be, like just how crazy and exciting it can be. Like except for kind of this one we started really strong.
I mean, I'm actually digging the Steelers Texans game just because I thought this
is
what it
games
was.
Kind of like,
and to me, I was always curious, like who's going to win that kind of battle. The Patriots Chargers, I kind of expected a little more of a quarterback duel, so I was a little disappointed when I didn't get it. But like this one, I was like, this is going to be gross, nitty gritty Steelers in Pittsburgh football against one of the 2 best defenses, and that's what it's been. So, but yeah, anyway, we'll let y'all go. We love you. We cherish you. Thank you for listening. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Give us a like, give us a rating, give us a share, give us a comment. Drop us a like. We're on Apple, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app. Take it easy. Take it sleazy. Talk about us. Share us. We love you. We cherish you. Bye.
Boy.